Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Joni and this is the Sir Crochet Podcast. So in this podcast, this is episode 9. Yay! So in this podcast, I talk about things like any shop sales that I have, any announcements that I have that I need to address, anything that I have been up to personally, any items that I have sold, if I have any items sold, any yarn that I'll show to you guys if I have bought any yarn previously. I also talk about any new listings, if I have any new listings up on my Etsy that are brand new. I also talk about any finished objects, any works in progress, and also lastly I talk about any answers that I have to any questions that I have received in any previous videos and any final thoughts. So welcome. Thank you for joining me in this 9th episode. If you can notice the camera quality, it's a little bit better. I got a new phone. It's long overdue. It's something that I have been meaning to try to do for a very long time, and I finally did it. The way I did it was I was able to afford a family plan upgrade. So it was nice. It was like I'm still in the family plan with my parents, and that's okay. But for me, it was about $52, and I was like, yes, happy I was able to do that, because the first thing I tried to do was buy a phone from Walmart with a Metro by T-Mobile, and they were like, yeah, it's T-Mobile compatible, yeah, you can buy it and it'll work, yeah. And then, so I bought it, and then my mom had to call T-Mobile to activate the device after the SIM card's in it, and then we tried that, and it didn't work because the lady was like, oh yeah, see, it's Metro by T-Mobile and you need to call Metro by T-Mobile to activate that phone. And we were like, oh, okay. And then she offered an upgrade. She offered an upgrade plan. Not plan, but just an upgrade service. And I've always wanted to try that because I've never really had the best phones all my life. I just was always given what I was handed. So I'm thankful for that in the first place. But it was never the current year phone. And now this one is. And I only had to pay $52. So I'm very thankful for that. And I'm finally upgrading in life. Finally. And yes, very thankful. So hopefully I will be able to do some other things as well. That would be nice. And hopefully that would be upcoming as well. We'll see. And anything else that I have been up to? As you will see in this episode, this podcast episode, I did not go very far as progressed because I won't go into detail, but I had, a couple days ago I had a psychotic breakdown. A mental breakdown, psychotic breakthrough. I don't know what to call it specifically, but I guess I will go into detail, but I'm not going to cry because I'm a strong person. Okay. I used to cry all the time, but I'm just getting better when it comes to explaining things and stuff. So I was overlooking all of my items in my business. Every item, like over here in the section of my room, I have neatly placed all of my items in my listings. And then, as I get orders, I will hand wash them. So I take great care of the orders once I receive them, but I've only had 3 orders in total on Etsy, and then on the side I've had some custom orders, but I'm trying to stay away from custom orders because I just want to be on the entrepreneur side of a small business. Like, I make the products and you buy it if you're interested. So I was overlooking all of the items that I was selling as listings, and I came to the bottom of one of the containers that holds, okay, I'll say it, one of the boxes. It's fine, it's still fine, it's just not on the ground, that's the best part. So I came to one of the bottom of the boxes, and there was the 36 the 36 crop tops that I have made years ago when starting my 8th time over, well, starting over the 8th time I began those in the first place. And as I was retaking pictures of everything, because, you know, new phone and better pixelage, I don't know. Anyway, better pixel rate, right? And I was looking at the way I did the sleeves on both the sides of the crop tops, and almost all of them, they were uneven stitch amounts. And then I was spiritually guided to throw away all 36 crop tops, as well as all the baby jackets, as well as the 2 children jackets, as well as, what else was it? I think there was one more thing I had to throw away. I can't remember. But then I would try to unravel the crop tops. I'm not good at frogging things. I'm not good at unraveling things once I begin things, because, you know, years after I make something, I'm not going to quite remember how to make everything, so that's why I try to make patterns in this pattern booklet I have right here, and it's, you know, this thick full of patterns. But the way I write patterns is just a picture of something like a women's sweater or men's sweater, and a picture of the sweater itself, and then the way I write the patterns myself, so not everyone's going to understand it. And that's why I don't write patterns and PDFs and stuff like that. So anyway, I had it all set on my bed of all the things I was going to, in a happy state of mind, all the things that I was going to unravel, thinking I could save the yarn. And then it got to a point where I'm not good at frogging in the first place, so I wasn't able to frog the very second crop top I was unraveling, and then it hit me. It started flowing. It started hitting me at that time. Everything that I was guided to throw away. And I just had an extreme meltdown. So I will explain in the work in progress, and I have no finished objects. I actually went backwards in the current works in progress, and I will explain in those moments. So, with that being said, grab your crochet project, or grab your knitting project, your coffee, your tea, and some water, or whichever drink you have in hand, or whichever project you have in hand, and let's get started. So the upcoming shop sales. This might not be the last time I will talk about the Halloween sale, but maybe not. I'm not quite certain. I have to look at the calendar. But the upcoming shop sale, I have the Halloween shop sale. It runs for a span of 8 days. It begins on October 24th to November 1st, midnight to midnight, and the sale includes 25% off all items on my listings on Etsy, and my Etsy is in the description below as a link. And for example, the baby sweater that I have for 6 months, size 6 months, and multiple colors of variations, it is right now for a total of $97.98, and on sale for the 25% off, it'll be $73.48. So if you're a person that likes to buy items on sales, or you happen to stop by my shop on a time that is a sale, then there you go. It's the Halloween sale, and it'll be again from October 24th to November 1st, midnight to midnight. I have one work in progress right now, and I'll go ahead and show you guys. So as I said, I was going in reverse, like backwards a little bit from the progress I was making within the men's sweater project. Go ahead and show you. Now, you know how I showed you guys before in the previous episodes how I completed the size small men's sweater. I'm sorry about that. How I showed you guys that I completed that before. Well, here this is again, size small men's sweater, and I actually don't have it completed right now. I am working on the other side of the sleeve. And I am almost complete with the other side of the sleeve. The pattern that I am using is the back loops only with the ribbed effect. And there are no buttons, no zippers, no pockets, no hoods, just plain and simple, plain Jane. So the reason why I was going backwards, I will explain. It is because I thought to myself, as I was creating the end of the size medium torso for the men's sweater and beginning the size large torso for the men's sweater, was, why don't I knit the sleeves of the men's sweaters? I thought it would be a great idea, so then I took apart the sleeves of the size small men's sweater. I tried it out. I didn't think about trying it out on the size medium men's sweater sleeves, and it did not look good. It was too many loops on the double pointed needles, and then I tried the crochet cables on the sleeves of the size small sweater. It did not look good because I was thinking about doing panels of crochet cables. That did not look good because it was, the cables were cinched together and it was bringing the outside panel part of the double crochet threes of the outside panel of the cables. It was not a flat panel that it was making. It was go in like this as the cables went like that. So it was not flat and it did not look good. And that's why I don't do cables in the first place, because it's very hard to work with. And that is the work in progress that I have. If there are any questions that you have asked in the previous episode, or no, if you have any questions that you would like to ask about my business and business only, about the yarn I use, about the projects that I make, about maybe why I don't use cables, or about maybe why I use the colors I use with the projects that I make, now is the time that you can ask the questions in this comment section below, and I will happily answer your question in the next episode. Alright everyone, that was a short episode, a very short episode today. Thank you for watching this episode. Just because I went backwards, I think to myself, for the final thoughts by the way, just because I went backwards, I don't think it's me exactly going a few steps backwards. I think I'm still going a few steps forward, but that maybe I was going too fast for the rate that I was crocheting, because looking at things like the baby jackets that I had to throw away, when I was making those, I was working too fast. I didn't pay quite attention to how I had made the pattern myself. I didn't pay attention to the only thing that I really didn't pay attention to, that I very disliked about when I completed the baby jackets, was the arms, the armhole. I didn't pay attention to that all the way, and I made them too short. And I can't quite go back from that. And even though it's a long time that I have been crocheting, almost 2 decades, I still make mistakes because I am still human and I am not perfect. So these things still happen, even though I don't even know if I would consider myself a professional. I would consider myself a professional crocheter because I know what fibers work with which garments, what work with which items. I know which items work well with which stitches, and it's something I still work with myself every day, testing and seeing what still doesn't work or what does work this time, or yeah. And I thank you for watching this podcast episode up until this point. I thank you for tuning in to all of the podcast episodes. If you have already watched all of the podcast episodes, if this is your first podcast, welcome. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you stick around. And thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all next time.